All right, welcome to the show. I tell you, we have a lot of really great blue collar American veterans that will be on the show in the next 2 weeks. So please keep on liking, subscribing, and keep pushing our channel and growing because we have lots of really great things to offer. Over the next 2 weeks, Bam, we're salute and appreciate the ones that made the ultimate sacrifice for our country so we can have everything that we love dearly in our lives: freedom, family, and a country to live and grow up in. Today we're going to bring on Mr. Brandon Smith on the show. He's a gem of a young man, and I personally am honored to have served with him. We'll get to chat with him a little bit about the current state of our country and the perspective of what the American flag truly means to him. Getting into the show, really, we're growing like gangbusters. We'll have another giveaway before Christmas, rounding up for the best comments throughout all of our channels: YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all. The top 3 comments will get a cash prize of the non-woke store of their choosing. Please like, share, and comment. Microphone's killing me today. Like, share, comment, and honestly, just keep the channel growing because I can't say it enough. We started this August 1st, and we have 2,000 followers, about 2,100 followers. We have well over 10,000 organic view hours. So everyone's looking and watching our stuff and pushing it out there. So just keep doing it, and we very much appreciate it. And everything comes back around. You know how it works. We have quite a few individuals here in the next 2 weeks that carry themselves in all of our communities as icons and truly lead by example, because that's really what you want in leadership. That's what we want in our leadership in our country. We used to have it as an example. You don't ever hand the keys to the new guy and tell him, you know what, you got it, you're going to run the show. It doesn't work that way. And we're kind of in that state. We're kind of in that state here in our country. I get it. I'm one to blame. We are living with what we voted for. And you can say it's great all day long, but things aren't. They're a little rough. Inflation is a tough thing. My father was he was a lot of things, but he was not good with his money. Horrible with his money. And when I was a young kid, I remember watching it on TV, and I asked him, what to fix inflation? Why don't we just make more money? That's the problem. And even he said it once again. Horrible with his money. Horrible. Even he said, you can't print more money. That's how you devalue the dollar. The more money you print, the less valuable it is. And I remember him saying, you have $5. You go down to the 7-Eleven down the street. You inflate the currency so much that $5 isn't going to get you the same stuff that you bought today. It's not going to get the same thing tomorrow. And how I can't say idiotic, because he wasn't an idiot. He was just he had what's that saying? His stomach was always bigger than his brain was always bigger than his stomach, and that's just how he thought, and it got him in a lot of trouble. Back to the point. We're there. We're in the point where we're going and getting groceries. Groceries are abysmal. Gas and resources are abysmal. And it's just tough. So the people we have in the show are those individuals that are the examples of what you want, the successful people you want to surround yourself with. Because that's a really good saying, that you surround yourself with successful people and you'll be successful. It's a saying. It's a really good saying for a reason. I like strapping those innuendos on things. We often say to material things. I have pride in this car. I have pride in the way I look. I have that prized spouse. I have the prized TV. This and that. These are veterans that carry that flag of honor with pride on their face every day and are truly proud just to be Americans. And we'll give a small glimpse into what it takes to be a standout individual throughout our country and in their communities. And I'm honored to have served with them, not only with them, but to know them. And we have a few individuals that are spouses of veterans, and veterans that have died young and have died before their prime. And we'll cherish not only the ones that we've lost, but we'll cherish their spouses as well, because that's just what you do. You always, even in the Marine Corps, it's a very tight community of people, and it's funny how, I've said it in previous shows that you get wrapped around your finger of the community that you're growing up in and your surroundings. Marines will always give, true Marines will always give to the other Marine and always be selfless. We always think of, even in training, you're taught that you give to the people that can't give and can't fight for themselves. And that's where we are. These next 11 days, I'd like to go out and be proof positive that this is real, and kind of slow down from what's going on in the world and internalize what we're doing here, because this is important. Just take a second, and it might be a little intangible. Those people, they say all the things about, I have pride in the gay pride flag, and I have pride in the Black Lives Matter flag. I have pride in my vehicle. I have pride in my yard. Whatever it is. Having pride in yourself before you have pride in anything, especially intangible things that only breed bad and negativity, is kind of where we are socially. And it is what it is. So that's my soapbox for today. Hey, you know what? We got a bunch of really great people coming on over the next 2 weeks. We have the midterms, so that's something to look forward to. Keep sharing, and getting involved in all of our stuff. We're growing faster than gangbusters, just like I said. So we have nothing but sincere, genuine compassion for everyone out there. Keep them coming. Keep sharing, and putting our information out there. Once again, next 2 weeks are going to be amazing. We're going to go to a commercial break. We're coming back with Mr. Brandon Smith. Alrighty.
Somebody picked the wrong girl.
All right, there, guys, coming in with a Mr. Brandon Smith. Oh man, I love this guy so much. Brandon, let the weekly
Yes,
rounders
sir.
know who you are.
Well, of course, I'm a Marine. So I was in from '04 to '09. That's when I was in. Did 2 tours, got back, became a student, and I really just got my face kicked in by life. Well, I had my life together. I had my plan. Once I got out, I was going for my dental degree. Unfortunately, physically, I wasn't able to complete that. Go that route. So I had to reroute my entire life. So what I did is I got into financial literacy. So that was the whole point, right? I wanted to go in, I wanted to retire with my life. And so got into financial literacy, started learning business, how to buy businesses, how to work with personal finances. And then it just became bigger. And I realized that actually no one knew about how money worked. And that opened up a whole new market. And since then, I've just been teaching people how money works. And I work with a company that teaches people how money works, and it just works.
It's funny because whenever anybody BS about Brandon Smith, we always say the same thing. He is officially the most beautiful man in Southern California. So, dude, we love you, man. You've always been great. You're always a motivator, and
Yeah, man.
no matter who you come across, they always have great things to say about you. So, it's a pleasure to have you on the show, man. So we have the midterms coming up here in about, I don't know, a few days. Tell me what you think about our current political climate and how it is a absolute dumpster fire. In your words.
In my words, well, I didn't tell you this part. I'm running for city council for my area for Temple Terrace. I'm running for city council, and let me tell you, I was approached by the Republicans and the Democrats, and I had been involved in what they were trying to do. The first thing that I was offered was, of course, they told me about their budget. They told me they're going to be emailing, sending out letters, texting their constituents, and they said I could be on that list. And I was like, okay, so you're going to give out these 225,000 emails, blah, 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 blah. So just coming objectively, because on a city level, a lot of people don't know this. At the local level, it's nonpartisan. And, I even stated that. You was like, so, on my level, it's nonpartisan, right? And the response equally was, yeah, but we know who you are. And this even goes for judges. And so I was like, okay, so what happens if I don't believe in everything you have to say? Well, the response was, well, I won't support you financially. Like, we can't support you financially, legally. We can't support you financially. And that's the point where I realized that everything that I thought I believed in was complete bullshit. Everything. All the people that I respected the people in government. I thought that they had the interest in the mind for the people. When I was in school and when 9/11 happened, I was there. When I was walking out, I seen all my fellow classmates, crying, running, confused, lost, helpless. And I thought that our leaders had the best in mind. Now, to get to this point in my life, what is this, almost 20 years later, only to realize that everything that I thought I believed in was a complete lie. Everything that I sacrificed my body for, which just ammo just dumped, money just
Yep.
given away. Everything that I thought I believed in was a lie. And so when we talk about midterms coming up now, so considering that I'm in the midst of the fire, the first thing that I see it as is domestic terrorism. I've personally seen how it's ripped my community apart. You want to talk about a wonderful community, not the most money, not the poor, right there, dead even. Everyone has their jobs. Everyone's getting along great. All of it has been ripped apart. We used to have block parties, and like our neighbors, not afraid to talk to each other. Now, our community, where the whole nation is formed, has been ripped apart because of someone's ideologies that aren't necessarily their own. And if you don't pick a side, well, I mean, I guess you don't have an opinion, right? I mean, I guess you can't think for yourself. And that's one of my platforms, one of my messages that I've been giving out to the people. And you'll be surprised how many people agree with me. Republicans and Democrats hate to love me because, well, one, I don't have a hidden agenda. The only thing that I'm here for is the things that I was willing to die for in the first place. Family, family, community, my nation. I have no hidden agenda and I don't have anybody's hands in my pockets. I can't be bought.
And it's funny because that's really what separates us from everyone else that gets involved in all the mess.
Right.
It's funny because no matter what, we always have the selfless person at first and foremost. And no matter what, we are always the one that has to pay and sacrifice the most for the rich and the famous. Take this Paul Pelosi stuff that's going on in the news right now. We get officially the whole story comes out, and then they take the whole entire story, completely twist all the facts, don't even give all the facts because the facts are dirty, and completely twist it into whatever it is that we have in the news right now. Which,
dude, did you see that? I'm sorry. Did you see that CNN? That one. There was a guy. He made up some fake news, made a fake company, and made it through. I forget. It was published nationwide. No facts whatsoever. I mean, he just completely fake company, fake riot going to Washington, and he was being interviewed. And they're like, "Oh, we're curious about your opinion," and like, you don't fact check stuff, dude. Even I wasn't published in a newspaper. Even I wasn't published in a newspaper, man. Like, I gave my statement, right? So I was being interviewed, and like they asked me, so what do you want to do? Well, I was like, well, I want to give the people a voice. The people need a voice right now. They're not being heard. Our people are being divided. Our communities, our neighborhood, our city is being divided over some whatever, right? And so I want to give the people a voice back again. Do you know that I was told, like, it's best that we not get citizens involved because that might cause issues?
Yep.
Dude,
I absolutely believe it.
I was like, isn't that your whole bleeping job description? That's your whole job description. And it didn't happen, man. It didn't happen.
That's really the problem is we have a society that does not like to take responsibility for themselves, that needs a very, very close support in everything that they do, and then you have these narcissistic leaders that cannot let go of all this power that they have because they just want to control all those people.
It's addictive.
Those amount of people are just as addicted to being told what to do as the people that are telling them what to do. And
they're afraid to have independent thought.
It's absolutely, it's bonkers insane. And the scariest part is, when is it going to change? When is it going to change? When is it going to change? You can give them the information, and we covered this earlier in the show. You can give them the information, the honest to God, factual information, and they'll still not believe you. And on top of that, double down, they'll think you are the crazy one. Just like you had your epiphany when you start realizing all the absolute BS that's going around. Right. I learned mine in like 2002 timeframe, and it was from top Midkiff, right? And I lived real close to Midkiff, and he would give me a ride home. And that's when I would sit in his truck, and he'd, on the ride home, 15, 20 minutes a day, we'd talk and BS. And that's when I really started understanding. He just by him telling me different stories about how messed up the Marine Corps was and how, messed up our government was. And that's when I really started to open my eyes. And he said, listen, when you get out, you're going to have a lot of different opinions from a lot of very ignorant people. And the key to keeping your sanity is, number one, you don't tell anybody everything that you saw in the Marine Corps, because they'll think you're crazy or they'll just think you're lying. And it doesn't matter.
Did you know that they didn't even advertise us? Like, the whole time that we were deployed, do you know that we were basically forgotten? And now we have support Ukraine. Don't care about Ukraine. You know what's happening? Our guys are still deployed right now. Are you serious?
It's
Who
a
cares about
mess.
Ukraine?
It's an absolute mess, man. It's an absolute mess. So even in your deep
Yeah.
state down in Florida, how is the political climate kind of panning out down there at the moment?
Everyone's scared. You want to talk about what really happens, man? You were right about giving out the information. What I'm seeing now is that people are afraid. They can speak the right things, but they're so scared about what someone else or what their neighbors think, that they don't speak out. So for this, like even for my political climate, like people decide with me, but I guarantee you that more than half of them, like, dude, they're just like ghosts. They're
Yeah.
ghosts. You want to talk about someone putting up a political sign? Once you put up a sign, even for a nonpartisan, I mean, it just gets kind of crazy. The if um, you have neighborhood bullies. So like the crazy cat lady that goes around, calls HOA or calls the city on everyone. You have those people that go around bullying people, and you go around and you talk to. I'm telling you, 75% at least of the signs that are put up are all because of one or two crazy people that go
It's
around
insane.
bullying a neighborhood. And the people that are out there, the only thing is they just don't want that person to like, oh, don't let me be their next target. That's what's happening. What you see is not actually what's going on. And then you have the lack of education, because people are busy. They're afraid. They're afraid and they're busy, willingly ignorant, to some things. And that's really going to hurt us in the long run.
That's
That's
that
not American.
that's really how we steamrolled into the turd pond that we're sitting in
No
right
one
now.
thought that this. No one thought that stupid could win, dude. No one
Yeah,
thought that it would get this dumb. All right, all the
it's the
smart
truth.
people, shut up.
It's the truth because the smart people were either working or going to their kids' baseball games, cheerleading competitions, basketball games. All the smart people had things to do. They weren't sitting on the side of the street, you know,
Right.
soaking the government tit, and it's insane. We can
It's
talk
true.
about this all day long, but
Right. Let's keep
with
going.
Veterans Day coming up, most importantly, what does the American flag truly mean to you?
Mm. Dude, the first thing I see is blood. When I see the flag, dude, look at this. I'm starting to get goosebumps right now. It just gave me chills. Like, oh, I'm like, I got goosebumps, even all over. Uh, the sacrifices that people make. I posted this on my Facebook earlier. It was with a Marine one in a normal life, and at the same time, you heard the gunshots in the background, and you seen things getting blown up. And he's like, I'm tired of that too. And that's the truth. So when I think about the American flag, I think about how when we got our independence, how they were bombarded there on the shores and the flag still stood. And no one knew that was because, even though it was to taking direct hits from mortars, that it was because of dead men that flag still stood. Because of the people there were selfless, that they were willing to give up their lives for the futures. So thinking about how many generations did it take for us to get here? I mean, once you go back around 10 generations, you look at there's thousands. So I think there was like 1,180 or something like that. People that, with grandparents, great grandparents, that resulted in just us being here right now, just like me and you. It's
Yep.
like one individual, that family tree, and what things that they endured to get here, to this point, in the hope that one day that the people, that their generations further down the line would have the strength to stand for freedom or stand upon something, be brave about something, be willing to believe and risk their life for or give their life for something that they believed in. So when I look at the flag, man, it's one thing. I think about the Constitution. Again, I see that the Republicans and the Democrats both are domestic terrorists. There's no doubt about it. And then you try to look it up, you won't get a true definition. But if you look at it, that's exactly what's going on. And they're fighting for, now is getting over invasive, that they're going into your personal life. They can look on your websites, they know how you vote, they know these nano things about you. And when I think about America, when I look at that flag, man, the only thing I could think of is just being that barrier. For me, that's that dividing line in between tyrants and my future generations. I can't do nothing for America. The only thing I can do is take care of my family and protect my community. The people around me that live around me, they know who I am. And you know what? They're glad that I have my Marine Corps flag and I have my American flag hanging right there beside it. And they feel safe there. Why? Well, because it's me. And then the thing is, I wish I could only hope that they would do the same. Or if anything else, it's not for me to warn people about who I am. The reason why I hang up those flags is to give the people hope.
Yes,
That
sir.
I hope that they know the sacrifices that were made so they can have their freedom and not take it for granted. I want
Absolutely.
them to know that, yeah, I'm crippled now because I believe in them and I want them to do great things.
It is beautifully, perfectly said that of how you said it. So, and I'm gonna put a pin in it for a second because last Thursday I went to a Sabres game with Graz, right?
Right.
And you know,
Dude, I miss that guy.
yeah, he never changes. Jesus, I love that guy. So, we're sitting there and we stand for the national anthem, and no matter where I am, if I'm at home watching the Super Bowl, if I'm in the Bills stadium, no matter where I am, if I'm standing in the hockey stadium, I always get the twist in my stomach, and it's just an amazing feeling when you pay attention to the national anthem. Doesn't matter where you are, and it's because take the pin out. It's because exactly what you said. It's
Yes,
because
sir.
we are that fine line between tyranny and our children growing up in a society that's absolute a dumpster fire. The stuff that we were protecting ourselves and other people selflessly from in other countries is slowly starting to erode in the United States. And we are that thin red line. And that was
Yes, sir.
absolutely perfectly said, man. It's 100% true. 100%
Yes,
true.
sir.
We got a lot of work to do, man. We got a lot of work, and to pick up the pieces of our country because we're going.
I have a theory if you want to hear it.
Hit
You want
me.
to hear this theory? Dude. All right. So you remember in school when they showed you this is your brain on drugs?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that like comes from like the 60s? That's who's in office right now. Like when Coke used to be legal and they were putting in Coca-Cola and stuff. Do you realize that's the generation that's leading our country right now?
Oh yeah,
It's like that generation. Do you not think that had lingering effects to that next generation?
no,
Dude,
you're right.
so
You're right.
dude, so right now, no wonder why we're in this is the generation that the hippie generation. That's the one that's leading our nation right now. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want them making smart decisions. You can't depend on them to make smart decisions, dude. And the next generation above us, you can't depend on them. It's all up to us. We have to bring common sense back.
Remember, even in the Marine Corps, you have your staff NCO ranks, then you have your NCO ranks, then you have
Yeah,
your non NCO ranks. You
right.
know, your NCO ranks drive the whole entire thing.
Yes,
They're
sir.
they're the ones that are in the trenches. They're the ones that make decisions. They're the one counseling the junior Marines and reporting to
Right,
the older Marines. They're the ones that are respectfully the face of the whole entire unit, whatever unit you are. Right.
right.
If you never, ever, ever hand the keys to the private PFC that just walked in your doors to check in,
No,
and that's really what we did. We handed the keys to the private and we said, you know what? You have different perspective of this. We're going to let you make all the decisions and everything. And everyone, not everyone, I will say 48% of the country were like, wait, what are we doing? Like, hold on, before
they're being for real.
they're going to blow up airplanes on the flight line. What are we doing? This isn't an intelligent thing. We have
It's
you
okay.
know
Let's give them a shot. We believe in you,
250,
buddy.
250 plus years of making the bad decisions not to make this decision. But no, you know what? We handed the keys to the privates and the PFCs, and we're sitting here like, I can't believe that our inflation is above 9%. I can't believe that people go to the grocery store and are paying 15% more for everything. I
It's
can't
not the end of
believe.
it, by the way. Mind you, I teach financial literacy, bro. And like in England, the food and price is going to go up at least 1,000% with inflation. Uh, right now, all right. So I don't know if you know about this. Right now, everything in the East is just crashing. You know, the biggest marketer in China that just like the housing market has crashed. Ukraine, Pakistan's bankrupt. Ukraine, 56 what is it, million tons of food isn't going out. You have Europe, the inflation is going to go up like ridiculous. That big giant tsunami is coming here. And what I'm seeing right now is the American, and I'm going to say this just generally, the American people right now, they believe in a 401k. They have that. And they're taking that out right now because they've seen the losses. So what they're
Yeah,
doing is they're depleting their currency, but they don't understand a big stinking wave is coming. And that's not financial advice. That's just because I'm smart. You know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. All right.
we got on the petrodollar, and we got on the petrodollar for a reason. Every time a country has tried to get off the petrodollar, we've gone to war with them. Right now, we're globally we're tanking the petrodollar, and I'm not saying anything that's conspiratorial. You can look it up yourself, and
Oh,
everything I've said this to you every time I've stayed in touch with you. We've
right.
talked about this, that everything revolves around the petrodollar. Sugar, flour, plastics, everything revolves around the petrodollar.
Just
If
a
if it
few months
crashes,
ago.
everything else crashes. It's like throwing a stone in the middle of a lake and watching the ripples. Right now, the ripples are beating the snot out of the dependent class, out of the lower and lower middle class. It's just absolutely beating the snot out of them. And
Right.
people, you can look at
Right.
Philadelphia, Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit, San Francisco, Seattle, LA. The list goes on of these
Right.
cities that are just rotting from inside out. Anyway, you know
Inside out.
what? I want this to be about good and happy things. We have lots of really great things to be proud of and happy for. We have the American flag, we have our friends, and this is going to be a really great Veterans Day. You got some final thoughts for me, brother?
Well, the only final thoughts that I could have on this, man, is well, in other countries, and we learned this when we were deployed, the citizens in other countries, they knew not to believe their media. They knew how to look in between the lines. I seen on anything that you look at on any major news network, whether it's Google, Yahoo, anywhere, you might find one bit of information out of 100. I counted just because I like doing nerd stuff, right? But I counted only one bit of useful information out of 100 posts that they would give out, and that's just being smart. Other than that, for our veterans, I know a lot of you are absolutely disgusted. And well, honestly, a lot of you might hate yourselves because you didn't step up during COVID when you knew that these riots going on and you watched your nation falling apart. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And some of you just feel like you're just not worth it or you're not living up to your full potential. I want to let you know I got your back, man. You're not alone. I have traveled this country from here to Illinois, out to Arizona, and everywhere in between. And guess what? All the veterans feel the same way. All of them.
Yeah,
So you're not alone. Your voice does matter. You're not crippled. You're not done yet. You're still alive. You're still breathing. Get your ass up and get some shit done. I believe in you. There's resources for you so you can do the things that you want to do. You are smart enough. Dude, you're not done yet. You're not done yet. Uh, Feel free to reach out to me. I got down here in Florida. I'm well connected. If you want to open up a business, I got you, man. There's a lot of resources for that as well. Our females, anything that you're going through, you're not alone. Don't put a bullet in your head.
yeah,
Actually, take some
absolutely.
breathing.
I don't know how
Um,
many times I've said, me,
yeah,
intimately or not. I'm a phone call away, and my phone is always on, no matter what. You know what? Take a
yeah.
second and make a plug for everything you have going on at the moment.
Okay. Well, one of my best. Uh, this is, goodness gracious. I don't know how to unblur this. Well, you see that there. It's how money works. Stop being a sucker. It's all about financial literacy. Look, I know some of us, like veterans, you have It's a hurtful thing. It's not just you, but a lot of times that are veterans that get in trouble because of financial reasons. And that's why I took on this. This is my passion right here. Is because finances really control everything. A lot of times, guys, they feel like that their things are out of control. They may not be able to do the jobs like they used to do, and they're running out of resources. But I want to let you know, hey, I got you, man. howmoneyworks.com/Brandon Smith. That'll definitely get you the resources that you need. If you need to get in touch with me at any time, that's also a great way to get in touch with me too. I'm always on my emails, and of course, money doesn't sleep. So I operate globally with an acquisition network that teaches people how to buy businesses. And that, yeah, man, that's all about money with me. And if I don't get an office this time, next time I'll just go back and buy them out.
Yeah. Brandon, you're the man, dude. We all love you. You're hands down an amazing guy. Beautiful family, and you're the epitome of the middle class and everything that we strive for. So,
dude, thank you. It's not me though. I'm gonna tell you, it's not me. It's the one that works in through and for me, bro. I'm gonna tell you, it's not me. I'm just letting it go, man.
That's right, man. That's absolutely right. Hey, I appreciate you coming in as a guest on the show. We got this campaign, 11 days to Veterans Day, and we're gonna have a bunch of people on. Thank you for being our first guest, man. We definitely started it out perfectly. Appreciate everyone. Appreciate coming in, and we're gonna go commercial break.
All right.
So Black Lives Matter released their 990 IRS filings. They collected $80 million. Where is that money?
It's not here. Everything looks worse than it was.
Where have you seen that money impacted throughout the city? So my producer just sent me a link. It is just shocking to me because of how much money was raised to think that where he lived, the bills weren't being covered. Super frustrating, but that's a dead end, so. And here's where it gets really interesting. Ready for some BLM pride? Another $200K went to escorts, BDSM workers, strippers, peep show workers, phone sex operators, and webcam performers. And then at that moment, it became personal. And I thought, not only am I going to say the truth, I am going to scream the truth louder than you can scream the lies. It's incredible that the majority of the world hasn't seen this.
All right. Hey, thanks for everyone listening. We got the first of 11 days in the hole here. Appreciate you. Keep listening, pushing, and like and subscribe and all the other crazy stuff. You guys know the routine. Hit it, and we'll talk to you soon. See you tomorrow.